The National Battery Research Institute is the Indonesia Independent Institute for Electrochemical Energy Storage and Skill Development. My name is Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini, founder of the National Battery Research Institute and also the President of the Material Research Society of Indonesia. So the NBRI aim to contribute the overall research and training capacity environment in Indonesia. That is, we want to gather the battery stakeholder from industry, researcher, and also from the government level, so we can be independent in energy. So we have the vision of how to help for Indonesia to be independent in energy. So we are rich with local resources. But unfortunately, up to now, we still depend on the other country. So the NBRI come to contribute the nation. So in terms of, we provide several activities. Yeah? So we have vision. Our vision, the long vision, is to make Indonesia having the manufacture on battery manufacturers using locally resource. And the others, we have also the several milestone. Yeah, that we want to have the center of the testing laboratory, because the standardization in the battery is very, very important. Our goal is this, we have a platform that coming from all over the stakeholder, the institution, yeah. And the most important, also we have to prepare of the human resources, yeah. The human resources that and the knowledge is very, very important in this sense. So Indonesia also have the bonus of the demography. There are a lot of millennials, but we have to educate them. We have to train them, yeah, about this energy storage, about the local resources, about the vision, and also about the battery itself. So this is also one of the mission of the NBRI. We want to give the program for the internship for them, to educate them, yeah, we can give the skill, also the vocational student, yeah. So we want to have that in the future, the electric vehicle or the energy storage will be applied in all the Indonesia area. We do the FGD, focus group discussion. So we make this, there is a topic that we have to discuss, for example, standardization, about electric vehicle, about the transportation. So we know from the first hand what is going on, yes. We have to do also what is the current state of the technology in battery all over the world. So we make the lecture, yeah, and where I lecture to provide the most current state technology by inviting the famous lecture from, for example, we invite from UK, also from Australia, invite from USA, and then we have already invited also from Canada. The other that because NBRI is mostly to provide also for the millennials, so we give a chance for the student or a fresh graduate who have the same dream, the same vision, also to give the millennial talks, to share with us. NBRI help also manage one of the program national research priority, mandatory, to become the center of excellence in the research. Yeah, we combine not only the research, we combine also the international networking, we combine also the private industry, so the result will be directly applied in the market. So that is what we expect. Because Indonesia is the largest nickel resources in the world, but nickel has a value to become the precursor and also to become the cathode of the battery. So we know that the future of the nickel to replace the gasoline. Yeah, that's all that what I can introduce you about the National Battery Research Institute. Thank you for all the support. Yes, and of course, to reach our dream to become the center of excellent innovation in battery and renewable energy that become the leading institute, not only in the regional but international. We hope that all of you can support us financially also, yes, to make the dream come true and build the better future, not only for Indonesia but for all over the world. Thank you.
Hai Sobat Iptek, tahu kan kalau dunia akan terus berkembang dan berinovasi? Contohnya kendaraan kita yang kini masih menggunakan bensin yang akan habis, sehingga akan berkembang menjadi kendaraan listrik yang bersumber energi terbarukan listrik agar lebih efisien, mengurangi efek rumah kaca, bahkan emisi karbon sebanyak 43% dibanding mobil biasa. Hebat kan? Semua ada berkat komponen utamanya untuk menyimpan energi, yaitu baterai lithium. Baterai lithium adalah baterai dengan emisi besar dan bobot yang ringan. Dibanding baterai biasanya, baterai lithium dapat dicas sehingga banyak dipakai di barang elektronik sehari-hari. Ada 3 komponen, anoda, katoda, dan separator. Kandungan tertinggi di katoda yaitu nikel, mangan, dan kobalt. Tapi nikel lah yang bisa menyimpan energi terbanyak sehingga jadi unsur utama pada baterai lithium dengan rasio terbanyak 80%. Negara kita sangat beruntung karena ternyata Indonesia adalah sumber nikel terbesar di dunia. Harusnya bisa membuat industri dan mengolah material nikel menjadi baterai lithium sendiri. Sayangnya Indonesia belum ada wadah bagi para ahli untuk bersatu dan membuat teknologi yang bisa mewujudkan itu. Maka Menristek menugaskan Ibu Evi untuk memimpin riset mengenai baterai lithium dan materialnya yang dilakukan di Puspiptek. Ibu Evi telah menekuni teknologi dan material nuklir selama 30 tahun. Kini Ibu Evi menjadi Presiden MRSI, INSS juga mendirikan NBRI. Ketiga organisasi ini saling melengkapi dalam riset pembuatan teknologi yang dapat mengolah nikel dan bahan baku lainnya menjadi baterai lithium. MRSI fokus meneliti material seperti nikel dalam pembuatan baterai, NBRI meneliti pembuatan baterai yang efektif, dan INSS fokus mengembangkan teknologi nuklir untuk membaca kerja lithium dalam baterai. Ketiganya, selain bertujuan memajukan penelitian, juga menjadi wadah bagi para ahli di Indonesia untuk terus bekerja sama mengembangkan inovasi teknologi energi di Indonesia. Dengan kayanya sumber daya alam dan kemampuan mengembangkan teknologi sendiri, Indonesia akan menjadi negara yang independen dan inovatif.
The National Battery Research Institute is the Indonesia Independent Institute for Electrochemical Energy Storage and Skill Development. My name is Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini, founder of the National Battery Research Institute and also the President of the Material Research Society of Indonesia. So the NBRI aim to contribute the overall research and training capacity environment in Indonesia. That is, we want to gather the battery stakeholder from industry, researcher, and also from the government level, so we can be independent in energy. So we have the vision of how to help for Indonesia to be independent in energy. So we are rich with local resources. But unfortunately, up to now, we still depend on the other country. So the NBRI come to contribute the nation. So in terms of to provide several activity, yeah. So we have vision. Our vision, the long vision, is to make Indonesia having the manufacture on battery manufacturers using locally resource. And the others, we have also the several milestone, yeah, that we want to have the center of the testing laboratory, because the standardization in the battery is very, very important. Our goal is to we have a platform that coming from all over the stakeholder, the institution, yeah. And the most important also, we have to prepare of the human resources, yeah. The human resources that and the knowledge is very, very important in this sense. So Indonesia also have the bonus of demography. There are a lot of millennials, but we have to educate them, we have to train them, yeah, about this energy storage, about the local resources, about the vision, and also about the battery itself. So this is also one of the mission of the NBRI. We want to give the program for the internship for them, to educate them, yeah, we can give the skill, also the vocational student, yeah. So we want to have that in the future, the electric vehicle or the energy storage will be applied in all the Indonesia area. We do the FGD, focus group discussion. So we make this, there is a topic that we have to discuss, for example, standardization, about electric vehicle, about the transportation. So we know from the first hand what is going on, yes. We have to do also what is the current state of the technology in battery all over the world. So we make the lecture, yeah, and I lecture to provide the most current state technology by inviting the famous lecture from, for example, we invite from UK, also from Australia, invite from USA, and then we already invited also from Canada. The others that because NBRI is mostly to provide also for the millennials, so we give a chance for the student or a fresh graduate who have the same dream, the same vision, also to give the millennial talks, to share with us. NBRI help also manage one of the program national research priority, mandatory, to become the center of excellence in the research. Yeah, we combine not only the research, we combine also the international networking, we combine also the private industry, so the result will be directly applied to in the market. So that is what we expect. Because Indonesia is the largest nickel resources in the world, but nickel has a value to become the precursor and also to become the cathode of the battery. So we know that the future of the nickel to replace the gasoline. Yeah, that's all that what I can introduce you about the National Battery Research Institute. Thank you for all the support. Yes, and of course to reach our dream to become the center of excellent innovation in battery and renewable energy, that become the leading institute, not only in regional but international. We hope that all of you can support us financially also, yes, to make the dream come true and build the better future, not only for Indonesia but for all over the world. Thank you. The National Battery Research Institute is the Indonesia Independent Institute for Electrochemical Energy Storage and Skill Development. My name is Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini, founder of the National Battery Research Institute, and also the President of the Material Research Society of Indonesia. So the NBRI aim to contribute the overall research and training capacity environment in Indonesia. That is, we want to gather the battery stakeholder from industry, researcher, and also from the government level, so we can be independent in energy. So we have the vision of how to help for Indonesia to be independent in energy. So we are rich with local resources. But unfortunately, up to now, we still depend on the other country. So the NBRI come to contribute the nation. So in terms of to provide several activities, yeah. So we have vision. Our vision, the long vision, is to make Indonesia having the manufacture on battery manufacturers using locally resourced. And the others, we have also the several milestone, that we want to have the center of the testing laboratory, because the standardization in the battery is very, very important. Our goal is this: we have a platform that coming from all over the stakeholder, the institution, And the most important, also we have to prepare of the human resources, The human resources that and the knowledge is very, very important in this sense. So Indonesia also have the bonus of the demography. There are a lot of millennials, but we have to educate them. We have to train them, about this energy storage, about the local resources, about the vision, and also about the battery itself. So this is also one of the mission of the NBRI. We want to give the program for the internship for them, to educate them, we can give the skill, also the vocational student, So we want to have that in the future, the electric vehicle or the energy storage will be applied in all the Indonesia area. We do the FGD, focus group discussion. So we make this, there is a topic that we have to discuss, for example, standardization, about electric vehicle, about the transportation. So we know from the first hand what is going on, We have to do also what is the current state of the technology in battery all over the world. So we make the lecture, NBRI lecture, to provide the most current state technology by inviting the famous lecture from, for example, we invite from UK, also from Australia, invite from USA, and then we already invited also from Canada. The other that because NBRI is mostly to provide also for the millennials, so we give a chance for the student or a fresh graduate who have the same dream, the same vision, also to give the millennial talks to share with us. NBRI help also manage one of the program, National Research Priority, mandatory, to become the center of excellence in the research. We combine not only the research, we combine also the international networking, we combine also the private industry, so the result will be directly applied in the market. So that is what we expect. Because Indonesia is the largest nickel resources in the world, but nickel has a value to become the precursor and also to become the cathode of the battery. So we know that the future of the nickel to replace the gasoline. That's all that what I can introduce you about the National Battery Research Institute. Thank you for all the support. And of course, to reach our dream to become the center of excellent innovation in battery and renewable energy, that become the leading institute, not only in regional but international. We hope that all of you can support us financially also, to make the dream come true and build the better future, not only for Indonesia but for all over the world. Thank you.
Hai Sobat Iptek, tahu kan kalau dunia akan terus berkembang dan berinovasi? Contohnya kendaraan kita yang kini masih menggunakan bensin yang akan habis, sehingga akan berkembang menjadi kendaraan listrik yang bersumber energi terbarukan listrik agar lebih efisien, mengurangi efek rumah kaca, bahkan emisi karbon sebanyak 43% dibanding mobil biasa. Hebat kan? Semua ada berkat komponen utamanya untuk menyimpan energi, yaitu baterai lithium. Baterai lithium adalah baterai dengan energi besar dan bobot yang ringan. Dibanding baterai biasanya, baterai lithium dapat dicas sehingga banyak dipakai di barang elektronik sehari-hari. Ada 3 komponen, anoda, katoda, dan separator. Kandungan pentingnya di katoda yaitu nikel, mangan, dan kobalt. Tapi nikellah yang bisa menyimpan energi terbanyak sehingga jadi unsur utama pada baterai lithium dengan rasio terbanyak 80%. Negara kita sangat beruntung karena ternyata Indonesia adalah sumber nikel terbesar di dunia. Harusnya bisa membuat industri dan mengolah material nikel menjadi baterai lithium sendiri. Sayangnya Indonesia belum ada wadah bagi para ahli untuk bersatu dan membuat teknologi yang bisa mewujudkan itu. Maka Menristek menugaskan Ibu Evi untuk memimpin riset mengenai baterai lithium dan materialnya yang dilakukan di Puspiptek. Ibu Evi telah menekuni teknologi dan material nuklir selama 30 tahun. Kini Ibu Evi menjadi Presiden MRSI, INSS juga mendirikan NBRI. Ketiga organisasi ini saling melengkapi dalam riset pembuatan teknologi yang dapat mengolah nikel dan bahan baku lainnya menjadi baterai lithium. MRSI fokus meneliti material seperti nikel dalam pembuatan baterai, NBRI meneliti pembuatan baterai yang efektif, dan INSS fokus mengembangkan teknologi nuklir untuk membaca kerja lithium dalam baterai. Ketiganya, selain bertujuan memajukan penelitian, juga menjadi wadah bagi para ahli di Indonesia untuk terus bekerja sama mengembangkan inovasi teknologi energi di Indonesia. Dengan kayanya sumber daya alam dan kemampuan mengembangkan teknologi sendiri, Indonesia akan menjadi negara yang independen dan inovatif. Hai Sobat Iptek, tahu kan kalau dunia akan terus berkembang dan berinovasi? Contohnya kendaraan kita yang kini masih menggunakan bensin yang akan habis, sehingga akan berkembang menjadi kendaraan listrik yang bersumber energi terbarukan listrik agar lebih efisien, mengurangi efek rumah kaca, bahkan emisi karbon sebanyak 43% dibanding mobil biasa. Hebat kan? Semua ada berkat komponen utamanya untuk menyimpan energi, yaitu baterai lithium. Baterai lithium adalah baterai dengan energi besar dan bobot yang ringan. Dibanding baterai biasanya, baterai lithium dapat dicas sehingga banyak dipakai di barang elektronik sehari-hari. Ada 3 komponen, anoda, katoda, dan separator. Kandungan pentingnya di katoda yaitu nikel, mangan, dan kobalt. Tapi nikellah yang bisa menyimpan energi terbanyak sehingga jadi unsur utama pada baterai lithium dengan rasio terbanyak 80%. Negara kita sangat beruntung karena ternyata Indonesia adalah sumber nikel terbesar di dunia. Harusnya bisa membuat industri dan mengolah material nikel menjadi baterai lithium sendiri. Sayangnya Indonesia belum ada wadah bagi para ahli untuk bersatu dan membuat teknologi yang bisa mewujudkan itu. Maka Menristek menugaskan Ibu Evi untuk memimpin riset mengenai baterai lithium dan materialnya yang dilakukan di Puspiptek. Ibu Evi telah menekuni teknologi dan material nuklir selama 30 tahun. Kini Ibu Evi menjadi Presiden MRSI, INSS juga mendirikan NBRI. Ketiga organisasi ini saling melengkapi dalam riset pembuatan teknologi yang dapat mengolah nikel dan bahan baku lainnya menjadi baterai lithium. MRSI fokus meneliti material seperti nikel dalam pembuatan baterai, NBRI meneliti pembuatan baterai yang efektif, dan INSS fokus mengembangkan teknologi nuklir untuk membaca kerja lithium dalam baterai. Ketiganya, selain bertujuan memajukan penelitian, juga menjadi wadah bagi para ahli di Indonesia untuk terus bekerja sama mengembangkan inovasi teknologi energi di Indonesia. Dengan kayanya sumber daya alam dan kemampuan mengembangkan teknologi sendiri, Indonesia akan menjadi negara yang independen dan inovatif.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Expert Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini, Professor Dr. Alan J. Drew, Insinyur Ima Dedana Tangkas, Master of Science, IPU, ASEAN Engineering, Dr. Pakon Opa Prakasit, PhD, Professor Dr. Mon Insinyur Muhammad Zaki Mubarak, Honorable Moderator, and our participants. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time now, as well as those who are new to be a member of the National Battery Research Institute, or the NBRI. Today, we are proud to be present the international webinar with the topic of Material for Sustainability Strategy and Circular Economy. My name is Sinta Widianingrum. I'm a secretary of the NBRI, and it is an honor for me to be able to host this event today at this wonderful day with all of you. Climate change is a global problem with grave implications such as environmental, social, economic, political, and for the distribution of goods. Since the industrial revolutions of the 19th century until today, change in climate have been mainly the result of human activities. Through this webinar, we hope to be able to discuss with the expert to find out how important batteries are and how it can be one of the good options to reduce the impact of the climate change, also helping the achieve of the SDGs number 13 target. Before we start it, allow me to read the rules and the agenda for today. The rules. The agenda for today, the rules. This event will be conducted from 1:30 p.m. until 4:30 p.m. During the sessions, please mute yourself and don't mute yourself before the moderator allows you to do so. During the discussion session, please use the raise hand feature. The committee will recognize you and allow you to speak. The participants are requested to fill the attendance form that will be shared via chat box by the committee. And I will move to the agenda for today. The first is opening, and then continue by opening speech from the founder of the NBRI, Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini, continued by welcoming speech from our co-founder, Professor Dr. Alan Jedru, continued by the first speaker, Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini, continued by Insinyur Ima Dedana and Tangkas, Master of Science, IPU ASEAN Engineering, and then Dr. Prakan of Kasich as a third speaker. Last but not least, Professor Dr. Mon Insinyur Muhammad Zaki Mubarak, Bachelor of Technique, Magister of Technique. Then continued by the discussion with all participants, closing remarks and speech. Last but not least, closing and documentations. Before we start it, allow me to read the CV of our amazing moderator that will lead this event, Dr. Mas Ayu Elita Hafiza, Bachelor of Science, Master of Science. She is a Sustainability Division from Responsible Care Indonesia. She graduated as a Bachelor of Science from Chemistry Department, University of Indonesia, finished the Master of Science on University of Indonesia, and also doctoral programs from University of Indonesia. She is 100 a young scientist, one of 100 the young research of nanotechnology in Indonesia, was recorded in the community of nanotechnology called Masyarakat Nano Indonesia, or MNI. Author more than 100 of publications or journals since 2016 up to present. To Dr. Mas Ayu, the time is all yours.
Okay, thank you. Always the small instruction. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Good day and welcome to the. I have to read our session for today. Welcome to our material for sustainability strategy and circular economy webinars will be conducted by, as mentioned by the MC, that today we have very valuable session, and we can hear and we can get some information from the expert regarding how we can part of the growing and development actually in this country, because circular economy, sustainability, and the industrial revolution 4.0, it is circular economy, it is part of the sexy issue currently in Indonesia and also in the world. So I believe this session will have some valuable information, and I try to make some summarize in the end of the session, and let our today's session will change our country to facing the developments of the world. All right. We will start for the speakers, or just follow the agenda. The MC, could you please confirm? Okay, so the next agenda, it should be the opening speech from our, the opening remarks from our founder of NBRI and president of
Miss Ayu, apologize, you were mute. Could you please repeat again?
Okay. Okay, thank you again. So it is only a small problem. Okay, now I will invite Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini as a founder of NBRI and president of Material Research Society Indonesia to give some speech and to opening our session today. I wish all of the participants, speakers also can part of this lunch. After lunch session, usually feeling full, but I believe with the best speech from our mothers of NBRI and Mersina can well change this today's session. Thank you. Yes, please, Ibu. Your time is now.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Ayu, for the moderator. But before that, Sinta, can I share the screen, please? Okay, first of all, I would like to thank to all the speakers for this important issue about the material for sustainability strategy and circular economy. This our event. It's will be one of the serial event until coming December. We have the anniversary of the first year of the NBRI. But before that, please allow me to greet first Professor Zaki Mubarak from ITB, from Institut Teknologi Bandung, and also Professor Prakan Oprah Kasich, PhD. He is the Vice President of the Material Society Thailand. And I would like to greet also Mr. Made Dana Tangkas, the CEO of the IBIMA, and also the Chairman of the Institute Automotive Indonesia. I would like to greet also Professor Alandru. Professor Alandru is here. Okay, so the co-founder of National Battery Research Institute. So before I start, I just want to introduce what is the NBRI, just very brief. Okay, this event, yes, as I mentioned, that material for sustainability strategy and circular economy is jointly organized by the Queen Mary University of London, Material Society Indonesia, Indonesian Neutron Scattering Society, and also the International Union of Material Research Society. Of course, as I'm the Chief Scientist, Research Scientist at National Research Agency, or BRIN, of course, this is supported also by BRIN. So this is quite interesting with today's the registered past participant who attended this. Maybe some are still on the way. The occupation, okay, yeah, mostly from the government institution that we can understand. And then the second, the 23%, it's from, oh, no, it's wrong. 34% we have young student. It's great, yes. So the students should come to this kind of event, and followed by the research government institution, and also followed by the lecturers and the researchers, yeah, mostly the researcher. And we are pleased that to welcome all from several various company in Indonesia, right? And also international, yeah. So this all institution we have received, and from the registered participant will be the variation is coming from all over Indonesia and also from international. And about the age, it's yes, quite interesting that above 55 years old, there are 9%. Yes, that, and mostly they are millennial. So we're grateful for this millennial to be here with us. For the next, I would like to introduce what is the NBRI. The NBRI, it's a platform whereas the researcher, the academician will get together, yes, and then with the industry. This is the point of important, yeah. So what is the problem in industry? We have to take to the research, yeah. So normally if you do the research, just we do the research and we don't know whether it's acceptable with the industry. So the point, just we have to change this mindset, okay. But of course we need the support from the government, yes. So NBRI want to gather the industry, the researcher, the academician, all the government to be to think about the future of energy in Indonesia, especially because we are rich with local resources. So I have to introduce before that Professor Alan Drew. He's the one that make this NBRI, establishing the NBRI. Prof. Alan Drew met us during the conference of Material Society Indonesia in 2019, and then with his support, yeah, and we applied the Global Challenges Fund. So the establishment of the NBRI was founded. Yes, that's and we benchmark to the Faraday Institution in England. Yeah, because in Indonesia there is no a kind of institute that focus. Yeah, so we benchmark to not only to London, but there are several center excellent in all over the world, right? From that, so we believe that we think that what kind of the legal aspect of the NBRI has become the Center Excellent Innovation on Battery and Renewable Energy Foundation. Yeah. As I mentioned, the establishment supported by GCRF and Queen Mary University of London. From the view, it is we would like to be pleased here to have this Professor Alan Drew as our co-founder of the NBRI. He really support not only the research but activity in Indonesia, yeah, especially for the NBRI. So if we see here in 17th of December 2021, we will have the first anniversary. Yeah, so a lot of going on. Therefore, we start with one series of this. So mostly we have young researcher here in NBRI. Yes, that's under 30. So because we believe that millennial will take over the next generation. Yeah. So this was Professor Alan Drew came when visited our former Minister Research and Technology, and also we already have the audience with the head of BRAIN. So before further ado, that I would like to give the to Professor Alan. But this is our dream. This is our milestone. And then, we hope that we can work together with all of you, national and international. And then we hope that recently we are proposing for the fund from international. We hope that it can give better for Indonesia and also for the world. And once again, thank you, Mrs. Ayu. So I will give this to our co-founder of National Battery Research Institute. Thank you.
Okay, another issue. I think for the host, could you please make a permanent property for my name, because just on off, then I will have some support to you to just to replace my mute and unmute. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Prof. Evie, for your welcoming sentence for today's sessions, and let's go to the second session. Also another founder for NBRI. Professor Dr. Alan Jedru, and I will give your time to give a welcoming speech for our event today.
Fantastic. So just to the host, we are unable to unmute or mute ourselves. So this does cause us trouble if we want to speak. So maybe that setting could be changed in Zoom. But nonetheless, it's a pleasure to be here this morning. For me, it's an early morning. We're now 7 hours ahead of behind Indonesia. So 2 p.m. in Indonesia is 7 a.m. in the UK. It's a shame I cannot be in Indonesia. We all know why. And it's actually it will be a similar story in a month when we hold the first anniversary of the legal foundation of the NBRI. So, I mean, the story is, as Professor Evie alluded to, that for some years, Professor Evie wanted to set up the NBRI in Indonesia. She wanted to set an independent batteries research institute, a foundation in Indonesia. But the issue was, to do so, you need to have funding, and where does the funding come from? So Professor Evie and I in 2018 sat down at a conference and we discussed this, and we thought, well, actually, why don't we just do it? Why don't we apply for funding and try and do it? So Professor Evie and I in 2019 applied for some money from the British government via my university, Queen Mary University of London. And we're incredibly pleased to be told the end of 2019 that we had the money. So we started the formal activity beginning of 2020, where we employed staff. We started we had a meeting with the Minister for Research and Technology, Professor Bang Bang, where we set out the agenda. We decided what we were going to do. And then in that first year, the majority of the NBRI's work was focused discussion groups, webinars, etc. We would have liked to have had more in-person events. In fact, we had funding for more in-person events, but that was not possible due to COVID-19 and the travel restrictions. So almost everything was done online in the first year. So as part of the first year's work was to set up the legal construct needed to legally found the NBRI, and that happened in December 2020. So it was it went to court and was legally founded as a foundation in December 2020. So we have our wonderful annual anniversary, our first anniversary coming up in a few weeks, where there's a list of events that, well, they're as long as my arm. It's fantastic. There's so much going on in the next few weeks. Now, ordinarily, I would be in Indonesia at this point. So during the events in a month, there's a week of them, plus some ones running up to it. Again, that's not really possible at this stage because of, even though it's possible to travel, there are still restrictions from my work about what you can and what you can't do. And so even though technically I could book a flight and come to Indonesia, the reality is that I wouldn't be medically insured, and that would therefore be a bad idea because work would not approve the journey. So from my perspective, my engagement in this very important event of the first anniversary is going to have to be restricted to online only. I'm afraid I can't, there's nothing I can do there. It's a shame. Maybe next year, the second anniversary, I'll be able to come to Indonesia. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the room back to the next speaker. I'm conscious that I don't want to take up more than my allotted time. So it's a great pleasure to talk to you all and be here today. And thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you so much. So now we have 7 hours different time zones, but without any issue for ours to celebrate our birthday party for NBRI. So just congratulations for both of you, as founders and also co-founder for NBRI. So as you know, the NBRI is Indonesia's Independent Institute for Electrochemicals, Energy Storage, Science and Technology, supporting research, training, and educations. Today, I believe during one year, NBRI has doing a lot of activities to support related with this field around the background for why NBRI was born from both the people, the great people, as from Alan and from Professor Ivy. So thank you so much, Professor Alan, for your welcoming speech, even it's still early morning in UK. Okay, then we can come to the keynote sessions, and we will have the first speakers, also another session for Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini to give special issue regarding our session now, how NBRI can support the national and also international program regarding the circular economy, sustainability, and how NBRI also can lead as a leader for this development issue. So time is yours now. Ibu, please, for the first speaker. So I will invite Professor Dr. Evi Kartini.
Thank you, Mrs. Ayu. So I will continue my share screen. Can I? Yeah. Can I have my? Yeah. Okay. So I start with this sustainable development goals. Yes. So as we know that recently our president, most of the president all over the world attended the COP 26 in Glasgow. What they are discussing about is about the sustainable development goal. Yes, continuing the Paris Agreement. So we hope that from Glasgow they have the Glasgow Agreement. Yeah, to make it stronger. So from the last Paris Agreement in 2015, so Indonesia committed, commit to also to contribute for reducing the CO2. Yeah, from this there is a regulation, the presidential decree number 55, year 2019. This is about the acceleration of the electric vehicle based on the battery. So this is one of the starting point. Why we have to discuss about the battery. This is important, right? But of course, not only about the electrification, electric vehicle, but also, of course, for the renewable energy. Yeah. Okay. From this point, so the government set up also that in 2030 there will be about 15 million of electric vehicle two wheels and 4 million electric vehicle four wheel. So where it come from? Yeah, of course. Currently, we don't have the factory of the battery and also the electric vehicle factory in Indonesia, but it has to be things right now. Yeah, since no, because if we see here the target of the government in 2025, there should be 80% of local content. Yeah, for four wheel. But the battery will be the major contribution for the car. So it means that we have to find out. Yeah, we have to develop. Yeah, we have to find the supply chain from the local resources. So from the Paris Agreement, so our NBRI also helped that working together with British Council. Yes, we have the climate challenge workshop. And with the title Delivering Battery Revolution, Reducing the Driver of the Climate Change in Indonesia. Thanks to Professor Alan that already given this opportunity for Indonesian and also for UK young researcher, yeah, to get the the grant for the research that will give impact to the climate problem. Yes, so this we did this in July 2021. And then what is the sustainable development goal? Yeah, here it's written that battery a key technology to achieve Paris Agreement and support the UN SDG. In which part? Okay, so if we see here, yeah, there is 16% the carbon dioxide was contributed from the transportation and some from the industry. So if the industry, yeah, can use the renewable and then the transportation can use the electric vehicle, so it will give, yeah, it will give a contribution to the world, because here, like in these figures, yeah, as increasing the electric vehicles, yeah, and then will decrease the carbon dioxide. Yeah, so it means that battery enable decarbonization of road transport. So this is a kind of the solution, yeah, we are facing. So the battery are a core technology to realize the energy transition and broaden energy access around the world. Yeah, so how important the battery technology? Yeah, now if we talk about the material for sustainable development goal, yes, I think nickel will become the most important part in this sense, yeah, because I wrote here nickel as the next oil. In the electric vehicle, yes, if all the cars are using the battery, so what kind of battery? Yeah. So there is battery, also the electric motor, inverter, yes, but no other equipment, yeah, like ICE. So about 35% to up 40% their contribution from the battery. So battery pack as a key advantage for battery electric vehicle manufacturing in Indonesia. So it means that partial, yeah, the major contribution is the battery. So where is the material coming from? Yeah, if you open the car that consisting of the battery pack, and the battery pack itself consists of more than 7,000 of the small cell, cylindrical cell. So you can understand the heavy of the car due to the battery, the cost of the car due to the battery, and also the contribution. Yeah, so battery will become the heart of the electrification. Yeah, the mobility. So if you open again each of the battery cell, so this contains several kind of the material. if we see here, yeah, the rich nickel, like NCA, nickel, cobalt, and aluminum, yeah, here have the best specific energy, yeah, but the cost is quite expensive, yeah, but they have a specific power. Due to this reason, the Tesla use this material, but there's still limitation because of the safety. I believe that what happened currently with Tesla due to this kind of the material. So you have to be really careful with the NCA. The next is the still high rich nickel material is the nickel, mangan, and cobalt. Yeah, this is consists still specific energy higher. The price not as expensive and NCA, and this is good for the acceleration too. Yeah, but in comparison with the lithium iron phosphate, if you can see here, the specific energy is half, but the LFP have the lifespan longer. Now it depending which one to use. Yeah, the BYD mostly use the LFP, but the other car producer, they prefer to have the high risk nickel. Yeah, okay. What is the future? Yeah, the future, the demanding of the cathode based on nickel. So from LG Chem, Panasonic, CATL, Hitachi, Samsung, and all and others. So they for the future they are predicting the most used material is the NMC 811. Yeah, what it is the NMC 811? So 811 it means that the containing of 80% nickel, 10% mangan, and 10% cobalt. Yeah, so here they call 811. If you see here in the diagram, yeah, this is the 111, it means 30% nickel, 30% cobalt, and 7% mangan, has less specific capacity. Yeah, but it good thermal stability. Yeah, but increasing the nickel content, increasing the specific capacity. But of course, the thermal stability also decrease, yeah, and also the capacity retention. But of course, there are much study to increase the capacity retention. For example, increasing by the rare earth material, adding with graphene, yeah, and several coating and doping material, yeah, they're still undergoing, yeah. But however, the 811 become the prima donna or the future of the battery component in the car. Okay, so if we talk the nickel, so nickel has to be transformed. Yeah, even we are rich with nickel, if we don't know how to process. Yeah, the technology process you have to understand. Yeah, from how to modify to tend to process from mineral to become the cathode. So this become the important issue. Yeah. If you see here, that I got this from Prof. Zaki, yeah, from ITB. So the starting from the nickel ore, yeah, you need the smelter, HPAL, to become the MHP, yeah, metal hydroxide precipitate, yeah, or nickel metal plant. This production, either nickel metal or MHP, yeah, you still need to have the process. The name is refinery plant. So you will have in more detail from Professor Zaki later on, yeah, today in this webinar, and it has to be processed to become sulfate, nickel sulfate or cobalt sulfate. So it's containing the nickel and cobalt, but you still need the mangan. So you need the support from the mangan ore to become the mangan sulfate. If you have this three, so you have the precursor plant, and then you can make the precursor, and then you add the lithium carbonate. Yes, this is still being done also. Yeah, being researched by the group of BRIN. Yeah, ex-LIPI. So hope they will be successful. So we can have all the local material. So afterward, you have the cathode and become the battery. Yes. Okay. So this is the start with the MHP from local Indonesia, and you need the process. Yeah, the called co-precipitation. You put them together and mix, and then all the nickel, cobalt, and mangan, and then you have the agent. Yeah. So from this material, the first step you go on, you have the called precursor. Yeah, this color is green because of the containing of 80% nickel. Yeah, if you see here before, yes, the nickel is green, and the cobalt sulfate become the nickel sulfate. It's green here. Yeah, and it's crystalline. Yeah, so the color will follow this one. Okay, this one only 10% and 10%, 80% mostly of the nickel sulfate. So this become the precursor. Yeah, so we have make a production which is within a day we can produce 1 kilogram. Yeah, but you still need another process. What you need another process is from precursor you need to add the lithium. Yeah, the second process is the solid state reaction. You need high temperature. You do it 24 hours. Yes, you need also oxygen environment. Yeah, atmosphere in the furnace. So from the precursor, you'd add the lithium carbonate, you get the active material cathode. Yeah. So from this, it's part of the important the processing of the NMC. Yeah. Okay. So the other we have to do several processing like okay, so we have to do there are several line production from mixing, and then you have to do the filtering, and then until calcination, and finally you get the material. Yeah, what next? Yeah, what next is you have to do this is some of the intern student. You have to make it sure that your material, the product of the material, yeah, after you characterize good, you have to make the real battery from this. So this is under progress, and hopefully it will work. So we will have the cylinder battery from our local resources. Okay. So, so this is the process, and that hopefully we will be ready soon. Okay, so this is some of the intensive program that you need to do the characterization, testing, battery, etc. Okay, the next is the application of the battery. There are two. Well, the big one is two part. Yeah, first the battery electric vehicle. Yes, so we try to do the conversion from normal bike, yeah, bicycle. Yeah, folding bicycle to become electric bicycle. So we have this. Yeah. So one of the two students from University Ponorogo have succeeded on making the e-bike. Yeah, and then we make the battery, and then we put the motor, and then the inverter in the e-bike. So we hope that it can be continued, yeah, for another prototype, and then it can be produced also in Indonesia with this high local content. Okay, and the next, this is important. If you have the battery, before going to the device, you need also to have the battery management system. Yeah. So one of the students, yeah, from Polytechnic Nuclear, so they prepare. Yeah. So we design, we make our own BMS. So this is important to have all the research together, yeah, from material, the battery, and also the BMS. And then what we have that in the future, we can make the GESIP from our NMC, that local resources. Yeah. If you want to know about the battery, electric vehicle, and safety, please attend the International Battery, EV, and Safety. I will later I will talk. The second program is the battery for energy storage system. Yeah, we have that the Ministry of Mineral Resources has already announced that you can apply 100% of the solar rooftop on your roof. Yeah, it means if you have 5 kilowatt hour, you can add the solar panel exactly 100% as your power at home. So it means that, and then if you have an extra power from the solar energy, yeah, so you can transport, yeah, you can export to PLN, yeah, to the national electricity company, and then so you can earn money from that. Even you don't need to pay, yeah, you don't need to pay for your bill for the electricity, yeah. So this is one example that the Infineon has done. Okay. Okay, so that is the 15 kilowatt peak of the solar panel, but it's hybrid program. So we add also the power wall, yeah, about 9.6 kilowatt hour power wall. So this is the inverter and then power wall. So you can save about 3.5 million per month, yeah. So this is good, yeah. So it means that you can use also in the evening because you have the power wall. Okay. Okay. So so I have already mentioned that it means that the hybrid solar power. It means you need the you use the energy storage, yeah. But if on grid only you use without the energy storage, without the power wall. Yeah, it depends. But in the rural area, it's normally off grid because you don't have the source of the PLN. Okay, yeah. For you want to know, please attend the international workshop on solar rooftop in residential and industry. Okay, so this is one also the coming event. Okay, so we have industrial training program, yes, for vocational corporate institution, and then we just have also for Komatsu Indonesia with the various speakers, yeah, best speaker and national, international, yeah, speaker, lecturers with several level. Yes, we will prepare also for the IBC the training, and then for the next, this is during the we will have. For the first anniversary, there are several activities, the international school, yes, the workshop, the competition, the conference, workshop, conference, yeah, and so I will see here, yeah. So this is all the agenda for before the going to the 17th. So please be aware with this, all the agenda, and then we welcome all of you, yeah. So we succeeded, we have the conference in June. So we will have this in December for material for sustainable development goal toward industrial revolution through for 0.0 through circular economy. We will invite also one of the Nobel Prize winner and then all the best speakers all over the world to be here. And then, yeah, these are all the speakers. And then after we successful with the International Battery School in June, so we will have also another school. And then this is for young student, for student, all student. So we have the competition, paper presentation, and also microblog. So I think student also please join. And then yeah, this is the National Energy Council visited us, yes, in Techno. Okay, so at last but not least, thank for all the participants for today. So you will hear from us. So please join the website, become the member of NBRI. Yes, see the activity, and then the next we have the social media also, LinkedIn. Yeah, and thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prof. Evi. So let's give applause for her. You can choose the reactions in the chatting room. Thank you so much. Okay, it's so interesting for what Prof. Evi mentioned. Now, future battery is component of a car component. So if you want to know, if you want to explore more advanced regarding the battery, just please join with the incoming event which mentioned which Prof. Evi. It is very available even for all of you, especially for the young generation, because it is your word. Now it is become your word, and now your support, your action, it is required for how to develop this country. Just want to inform you that this Evi Kartini, it is because I didn't mention your CV previously, Ibu. Please forgive me. I just want to inform you that she is an expert on the neutron scattering and respected international. Her international reputation, no doubt. Everybody knows her, and especially how she brought the Material Research Society into the world, the global community. Thank you so much, because I'm part of the Material Research Society, so it is our proudness, because now we are eligible to join with the global community for this materials expertise population. So she is also part of the not part, because she's a leader as a president on the Indonesian Neutron Scattering Society, INSS, and also now she is act as a founder of NBRI for today. Now you will find her for another session, probably with different body, but it is okay, because as you know that she is very active to manage some organization. Thank you so much, Ibu, for your support, for your activities to this country. It is very valuable for us, especially for the young generation, as I mentioned previously. Thank you so much. So
welcome.
Please put your questions or your curiosity. Just later we will ask her for your question in the question and answer session. Now we will turn to the photo sessions. Everybody can turn on your video. And also, Alan, I invite you to turn on your video. We will take some photo sessions. Probably someone can help to take the photo.
All right, thank you so much for Mrs. Ayu. To all of the participants, please kindly turn on the video, because we're going to take pictures together. Thank you. All right, we have 3 slides here, so we're going to start from the first slide. Okay, and the first slide in 3, 2, 1, cheese. Okay, next slide. In 3, 2, 1. Last but not least, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much. I'll give the floor back to Mrs. Ayu.
Okay, thank you. So next we can come to the second session. We will have the second speakers will come present by, let me check. Insinyur I Madedanan Tangkas, MSc, Material Science and Master of Science and IPU Asian Engineering. He is a CEO of Indonesian Automotive Institute and founder of IBIMA, or can I call IBIMA, Pak? And let me inform you a short brief regarding Insinyur Made. We can, okay. All right. He is a general chairperson of the Association and Line Companies, okay, 2012 until now. Chairman also of the Indonesian Automotive Industry Development, GAIKINDO, okay. Head of the Standing Committee of Regional Policy from Kadin. Now Kadin has a new leader, ya, Pak. Chairman of Asian Committee, okay, AF. Secretary Asian Automotive Federation, AAF, head of compartment from APindo, and also Asian Pacific APEC Automotive and director of PT Toyota Indonesia. So I believe what he will present, it is also related with our word now. Talking about nickel, talking about lithium, battery, and as mentioned previously from the first speakers, future battery. It is a part of the component cars. So time is yours, Pak, please.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ayu, the moderator today. Good afternoon, Professor Evi. Thank you for the invitation for me for today join in this meeting, and also Professor Alan from UK. Thank you. We have listened, heard all of these opening speech, and also our other professor, our friend, also Professor Rofi from Bandung Institute of Technology, and also Professor Su Won Lee. Yeah, and all ladies and gentlemen attended in this meeting. Thank you. And also thank you for the opportunity today. I would like to share my material. Is it okay?
Yes, please, Pak.
Yeah.
If you are not able, just let me know.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It's
okay. Yeah. I will explain my material. This particularly as requested today, very good opportunity for me to talk for the material for sustainability and also the circular economy, especially talking about the EV movement in Indonesia, and also the how to build the material industry and its downstream. So this in this occasion, I'd like to start from my perspective, because I have been joined for the Toyota almost 32 years, and so far I'm also one of the advisor of the automotive industry in Indonesia, and also the president of Indonesian Automotive Institute, as well as we would like to build also the same institute in ASEAN. So ASEAN Automotive Institute. So let's start from the first about the what is the EV movement, particularly the market condition and the situation of the national and global situation. So as we are aware that recently we are facing with the disruption and hyper competition of the EV development. Of course, if we look for the EV, in Indonesia, we hold an indisable roles in developing the EV and EV battery, particularly how to set up the EV industry ecosystem. So this has also become a big challenge for the Indonesian as industry and business, as well as from the government support. So today, if we look the total condition of the EV model by globally by 2022, almost 500 EV models. And also recently we are facing with the EV sales, of course, still not so big, not the amount, the volume, but if we look more longer to the future, we can imagine that's a very huge amount of the vehicle of the electric. Particularly, we can call also the electrified vehicle, because that is consists of the not only battery electric vehicle, but also plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, as well as hybrid electric vehicle. So if we look here until to 2040, that is around 54,000. This is very big amount for us. So this is need very good preparation, and need more comprehensive and integrated solution for our industry and business. And in Indonesia, as you know well, also based on the President Decree number 55 in year 2019, that is also already run well, yeah, for this kind of the president degree. Also elaborate to the ministry degree, and finally the status of the development is, we can see here in 2019, yeah, for the 4-wheel and 2-wheel as well as for the bus. Yeah, so here is still not so big movement, but there is a plan also for the local, how to localize the battery, the car, the vehicle itself.
Pak Bade, interrupt please. Excuse me. Could you please make it the slideshow for your presentation?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, because it's very interesting, so everybody will see very clearly for this presentation. Thank you, Bapak.
Yeah, and in other side, we can see also what is the the development of these electrified vehicle in the world. So if we look in the country by country, very fresh movement, yeah, particularly for the China, yeah, USA, and also other European, yeah, Norwegia, Japan, and also in UK. And in the 2020, we have record the shares of the electrified vehicle is around 2.3 million. And in other side, also for the Indonesian, we have also some movement for this electrified vehicle. And also in other activities, not only for the 2-wheel, 4-wheel, and bus, but we need to prepare also the charging home or charging point or charging station. This is also should be considered in totally. So as I join in some project with the government, central government, and also the local government like Bali government, we are setting up the pilot project for this kind of the 2-wheel and 4-wheel, and as well as bus, yeah, like in Jakarta, also for the Transjakarta. So that is very important for us, how to make this happen, and then this is become one of the big momentum and good momentum for us, how to elaborate this kind of the EV and other also electrified vehicle in Indonesia. And as I mentioned, for the industry transformation, yeah, today in this forum is very good to talk about the material industry and its downstream. So as we understand, the share of the manufacturing sector in Indonesia is still low, yeah. That is need to be improved more. I believe this has become EV become one of the big contribution for the manufacturing sector. Still, we are achieving around 19 to 20%. While if we put the country as industrial countries, the contribution should be more than 30%. So the key factor and indicator driving economic transformation, yeah, like job creation, I believe this has become a very good opportunity for us, and also investment, market potentiality, and growth multiplier effect. And recently, which sector is supporting the good the good thing for this kind of the economic growth transformation? Yeah. So up to now, we have the motor vehicle industry is a very big contribution, as well as the chemical, pharmaceutical industry, electronic and computer, metal product, machinery, equipment, and so forth. So this is one of the thing I believe talking today for the material strategy, sustainable strategy, and circular economy is very important for us. And if we look the data before pandemic COVID, also the performance of automotive industry in Indonesia is very good. Yeah, achieving more than 1 million, 1.05 million market in Indonesia. And also we have a chance also to export to other country, to 80 country in the world. So that has become a good opportunity for us, how to develop the industry and how to develop the business and how to utilize the potentiality of the material in Indonesia. And of course, the product in Indonesia not only used in domestic market, but also can be exported to other countries, such kind of the for the vehicle itself, and as well as the spare part. Yeah, this is become a good chance for Indonesian when we developing the product in Indonesia in the level of the vehicle, in the level of the material and component. We can also push. Yeah, we can also bring them also to be the export product to other country. Yeah, and the other thing for the activities, yeah, I believe this is very important also, as technology basis and the type of the motor vehicle product continue to develop. Yeah, this is for the market share of the electric power vehicle is expected to increase significantly in the future. So if we look in the this graph, yeah, 2018 comparison 2050 for the electric vehicle, but battery electric vehicle is changing to be 75% so far. And also the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, 12%, and hybrid electric vehicle also 5%. And this is, of course, very important for us. The motor vehicle industry is undergoing a rapid transformation, and energy resources derived from the fossil fuel are replaced by renewable energy. And it's estimated that in the future, sales of the battery electric vehicle will dominate and replacing conventional engines. And of course, still we are facing with the cost, yeah, the price of the product for the battery and other related with the powertrain like a motor and controller. Yeah, this is need to be improved further. Yeah, of course, in this chance, very important, Professor Evi and other professors, yeah, to give the more deeply study and feedback how can we improve as soon as possible to be more efficient and effective for our industry and business. Yeah, in conjunction with developing of the ecosystem of the industry, we need also to consider the three core technology in the battery electric vehicle, such kind of the battery itself and motor, electric motor, and also the controller. So this is need to be integrated from the raw material, supplier, vendor, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and also manufacturing, assembler, engineering, and distributor, and finally will use by the customer, either in the domestic market or the overseas market. And the most important thing here also to consider the human resources, how the customer, the user, as well as also the producer, the manufacturer, also have the knowledge and also the right competency in managing this kind of the operation as integratedly. And also we need also later to combine, to elaborate also in the infrastructure, road, testing facility, and charging station, and also the other facility. And as the BEV ecosystem today, of course, in Indonesia, based on the President Decree, Minister Degree, that is also finally we have the pilot project also manufacturer, battery manufacturer, and charging station. This is very good to us later to make more deeply preparation and more detailed study how to fulfill the demand, the market demand in the future. So far, for the four-wheel, there are some company join in these activities. Yeah, still as marketing or as taxi company, and also the transportation company, and also for the two-wheel, yeah, also mainly still using by the transportation company. And of course, battery manufacturer, we have the IBC, International Chemical Industry, and also this is suppose will supported by government by several incentive for the customer and also for the manufacturer. This is, I think, very important for us. And the other thing about industry, yeah, of course, from the energy driven, or we consume the energy later on using the fuel or powertrain, and finally in Indonesia we have the regulation for the LCGC, low cost and green car, and also we have the low carbon emission vehicle, compose some electrified vehicle also for the hybrid electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid electric vehicle and biofuel. And of course, recently we have the battery electric vehicle regulation. And suppose in the future also for the fuel cell electric vehicle. And in more detail, how to use this kind of the lithium battery as one of the very big issues today. And also, I believe this is in this forum should be later we have some solution for more integrated and more benefit for the country. Yeah, like using for the not only for the battery in the vehicle battery pack, but also can use, as mentioned by Professor Evi in the presentation, also using for the battery storage, also related with the solar cell, battery pack, and also the other requirement in our activities. And the other thing, of course, we should understand also for the global EV and lithium battery and material demand forecast. So far, for the some are here, as mentioned, the Indonesia demand is until last year, for the internal combustion engine, and also for the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle 927, and battery electric vehicle also 290. And of course, in this year and next year, based on my study from government, also have a requirement for the government officer car. This is also one of the big chance for us to fulfill the battery also from Indonesia. And in other side of the demand of EV in the world is forecasted to continue to increase and reach around 55 million EVs in 2040, and also the growth drive in an increase in the need for the lithium-ion lithium batteries. I also would like to share this. This is, of course, maybe somebody have read for this report. However, I would like to remind that Indonesia has the world's largest nickel reserve, around 21 million tons, or 30% in the world. So Indonesia has a strategic position to become an industry player in lithium battery in the world. So based in conjunction with this, the question is how to how to use, how to utilize, and how to collaborate with the other principle with other country. That's Indonesian to be the central of the electric vehicle in 2030. This is also one of the question, and we should study and prepare from now on, and also drive all of the requirement to come to 2030. And of course, as already mentioned also by Professor Ebi and also Professor Rofi, also later, I think this is from the beginning, for the nickel ore, concentrate and sulfate, precursor, material cathode and battery ion lithium is very important for the processing in Indonesia. And this is also the trend of the global market. I think this is, as already mentioned in my earlier presentation. And so far in Indonesia, we have the industrial investment of the battery, five raw material still under construction, and 4 battery producer. So this is also one of the important thing we should collaborate, and how to link for the demand and supply. Not only the domestic demand, also what is related with the global demand. So finally, we can put all of the activities in this battery as integratedly in Indonesia as the central of the battery producer in the world. And in terms of the business also, we are considering as a local player and also as a industry player and business player, how to work with the principal company, whether this principal company come from the overseas country or come from domestic. This is need to be considered with the technology and also with the capability of the engineering in Indonesia. And the other thing for the assembling and supplier for the 3 core technology also very important. And finally, also we need to consider later what kind of the charging station or charging point or home charging for the customer. This is also very important for us. And I would like to also inform that in Indonesia, we are going to work together with the government institution and also with the association, community, and academy and research group. Now, this is one of the player here in the association and community, and also with the research group is Indonesian Automotive Institute. I believe also NBRI become one of the later player to join together to collaborate how to prepare as well as better as possible. I think finally, of course, our trend based on the regulation, the country should be ready for the production until end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. And finally, the vehicle and the battery and other material can be transformed in Indonesia and processed in Indonesia. And finally, can be also the local product made in Indonesia, and also become also the global supply chain or global value chain from Indonesian for the domestic and for the global market. I think that's all my today presentation. Thank you, and good afternoon, and thank you
Thank you so much, Pak Komade. Interesting, Pak. Usually we are talking about the publication, how we are in academic institution doing research, but not applicable. So now we have different overview from your presentation, how we are who stays in the academic, in the research body, and to be applied because you are part of the industry. 30 years, it is not short time to dedicate your knowledge, your skills, and it is very valuable time for me, especially to know a lot regarding how we. I noticed three sentences, Pak, from you, Pak.
Yeah.
It is very interesting because I have to open our mind regarding this situation. How to develop business and utilize the potential in Indonesia, not only talking about the potential, but how we can develop the business itself, the first. The second, because it is, I think this current situation in Jakarta also applied, low emissions car. Now, everybody has changed the car before 3 years, and we have to change with the new car if we go to enter Jakarta. So it's also our I think our homework. And see, you also present the demand, the demand in automotive. Actually, in 2019, 2020, it is increased. So there is no pandemic in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay, let's we discuss after this, Pak, and very interesting topics. Then now, because we have another speaker, so thank you so much for your presentations. And we will come to the third speaker. It is Dr. Prakan Oprah Kasich. Welcome. See you again, Mr. Prakan. I believe we met. I met you several years ago. He is a head of Department of Commons and Graduate Studies, School of Biochemicals Engineering and Technology in Thailand. Yeah. And his education, bachelor from chemistry, same with me, material science, and master in material science, PhD in material science, so same with me also. So now we have another collaboration for doing research, and very many medals and achievements from Dr. Prakan. So I believe another interesting topics also will deliver by you. So the floor is yours now.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. And also, I'd like to thank Professor Elvi for your kind invitation of our MRS, Material Science Society of Thailand, to participate in this very nice and very good activity of MRS Indonesia.
Welcome, Prof.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, our president, Professor Santi, has another appointment for this event, so he cannot join. So I will try to give some information relating to this activity that we are conducting in MRS Thailand. It may not be directly related to battery, but however, I will talk the overview about the material research work that we have conducted in Thailand, which fit with the model that is called BCG, Bio, Circular and Green Economy, which is the major policy that we, the government have supported in our country. So first of all, please allow me to share my screen. So I will talk mainly on materials that are related to BCG, Bio, Circular and Green Economy. Right? And at this moment, I'm serve as a Vice President of MRS Thailand. So we all know that we have been in an economy that is called linear economy, right, where we use lots of resources, and then in the production and consumption. And so after the consumption, right, we produce a lot of waste that can be very harmful to the environment. And also this is not a sustainable way because we use a huge amount of resources, right? So we call this throwaway society, right? And however, we have tried, like, to help the environment or try to solve this global crisis, right? So downcycling have been introduced in order to convert some of the waste into the production of some new products, right? However, the quality of the product that are made from this process may not be as high quality of those produced from original raw materials, right? We still need some additional raw material into this loop, right? So that's why, right, we come to the ultimate goal that we want to achieve, which is a circular economy in which we can use the resource that we have, right, converting into sustainable production, right? And then also we need to decide, right, the sustainable consumption way, right, that we can utilize the product, like, in the most effective way, right? After that, right, we turn all the product, like, completely into the new product again, right, without the use of new resources and also without throwing anything away, right? So we can close the loop here, right? This can bring us to the real and sustainable development. So in Thailand, this is the policy of our government in applying this circular economy concept into the worldwide, the nationwide practice, right? So we look at this in many dimensions, right? So if we look at this plot here, right, our first objective is we try to reduce all the waste that are generated in our consumption, right? So at the meantime, right, we also want to improve the economic opportunities, right, from this practice, right? So if we use the linear economy, right, so we cannot improve much of the economic opportunities. However, right, if we introduce this concept of circular economy, right, we can do so for the linear economy, we can do a cost reduction, right, in the old business, or waste reduction. We can do some enforce some policy, right, to change the behavior of the consumer, right? But that may not change much. But if we do circular economy, right, we can do resource recycling, right, material flow analysis, right, and waste segregation at source, right? This can help further improving the level of economic opportunity. And in the second step, right, this can, if we apply a circular design, right, into the whole process, right, we develop new business model, right? We applying sharing platform, right? We can improve the opportunity for new businesses, and we can achieve, right, the goal of a low carbon society. We can offer green jobs, right, to general labor in the country, right? So these are the basic concept that the government take into consideration and come up, right, with the national policy that is called BCG model, right? So it does not only, right, cover circular, right? Circular is the C in the middle, but this also extended into bio, right, and also green economy. So it is a bio circular green economy model. And by applying this, right, as a national policy, right, so we can cover, right, the 6 parts here. So the first one is to enhance, right, the national competitive advantage, right, on biodiversity, which is our strength in Thailand, and also in actually all country in Southeast Asia as well, right, and also our cultural diversity as well, right. Then in the second dimension here, right, we can connect this into the sufficiency economy philosophy, which is also have been practiced in Thailand for quite some time already, right? And to look at this, right, in a global perspective, this can also fulfill, right, 10 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG, right? And in the development of the industry part, right, the government has focused on 10 target S-curve industry, right? And that can that we can use our strength in order to develop the country's economy, right? And by applying this model, right, this can cover 5, right, out of the 10 targeted out S-curve industry of the nation. And at the end, finally, this can distribute to opportunity and the wealth, right, to the regional and local community of the country. And also, like, this bring the collaboration among university personnel, research institute, and community, private company, right, and also global network, right, to help into developing this together, right. So for the roadmap that are related to the research and innovation, right, by applying this model, BCG model, right, or BCG economy here, right, we want to achieve, right, zero waste, right. We want to be able to convert all of the waste into value-added products, right. We want to maximize life cycle usage of all product that we produce, right, in terms of reuse, refurbish, sharing, recycle, or upcycling of the product that we use, right. Now, we also identify, right, in 4 segments, right, of the economy that we have strength in our country. The first we concerned with agriculture and food industry, right. So this will be started from precision agriculture, right, seed technology, until agricultural products, and also enhancement of productivity. Right. After that, we'll go into the development of biotechnology and achieve high value functional foods at our ultimate goal in this sector. For the health and medicine segment, right, we'll start with development of herb production and active ingredients, herb products, right? And ultimate goal, we would like to have biologics precisions. For energy, right, chemicals and materials, right? So right now we have a very strong network, right, of research in the field of biochemical technology, right? We will try to get into the development of biofuels, right, and biochemicals, bioprocess, right? At the end, we would like to have high value products, right, that are related into this segment. For tourism, right, so big data and digital platform, right, come to play very important role here, right? So we may start with mass tourism, but we'll move toward to more sustainable tourism, right, by going into paying more attention into conservation technology, and at the end, right, we will achieve sustainable tourism, right, that we have high quality tourists, and we also can have a conservation technology for our resources and also attraction points. And also from this policy, the government imposed policy into investment sector, right, through what we call Thailand Board of Investment, or BOI, right? So these are some example of the focus point, what we call BOI promoted project that are related to BCG. Right? So manufacture of medical foods or food supplements, right? The main focus, right? Recycling and reuse of materials or products, right? Manufacture of fuels and from agricultural scraps, right? Or garbage or waste, right? And also biogas, right? And also generation of plant for producing biogas from wastewater, for example. Production of electricity, right? Right, from renewable resources. Also, some other part may be related to agriculture, like the animal farm or agricultural goods. Another part that also we focus on, right, is manufacture of eco-friendly chemicals, right, and polymers that are derived from bio-based resources, right? Especially biopolymers. Right? This can be one of this is one of the focus of the country in Thailand. And in terms of materials research and that are related to this, right? So we at MRS Thailand also play a very important role, right, in making the roadmap for the country, right? Especially in the term of frontier research that are related to materials. So we have proposed a white paper to the government and the policy making agency, right, on the support to materials research of the country, right? So what are the two main focus that we pay more attention to, right, is on functional polymer materials and also carbon-based materials, right? So, and we propose the timeline, right, of the research and also the output and outcome from this research work. In terms of functional polymer materials, right, we want to focus on smart functional polymer in the form of membranes and fiber, and we move toward into fabrication into functional material for filaments for 3D and also 4D printing applications. Also, we would like to develop establish technology for producing functional degradable polymer materials, right, from chemical recycling products, right, of existing polymer that are non-degradable at this moment, but we try to develop technology to convert them into degradable polymer in the future. So by doing this, we can move toward non-degradable materials into degradable materials, which can be recycling effectively in the future. And also, we aim for high value application, like medical products, like precision medicine, chemical or biological detections. Right? These are the main high value added application in the future. We also would like to develop high performance degradable composite materials, right? By mixing this with high performance material, inorganic materials, but with very unique functionality, trigger degradability. For example, the material can be degraded right away, immediately, if it is in contact with seawater, for example. So this can help preventing or solving the problem, contamination of marine ecosystem or in the ocean. Right? Also, production of functional degradable polymer from CO2 and development of carbon dioxide capture technology. Right? So those are related to the functional polymer parts. Right? For the other part that we focus on, which is also should be related to this event as well. Right? So we have a very strong network of research network, right, in the country that work on development of graphene materials, right, from bio-waste or bio-based resources. Right? And the main use of these materials is for energy storage, right? And this can also go to both in the form of supercapacitor, or can be in the form of battery as well, right? Battery products. Making graphene, right, from CO2, right? CO2 capture, conversion to graphene materials, right, for similar objective. Right? Development of multifunctional graphitic carbon nitride nano hybrid, right? Including design, synthesis, and characterization, and use these materials as multifunctional carbon composite materials, and also a carbon smart material as the final products. So if we look, right, in a more detail of the carbon materials platform, right, the carbon sources, right, should come from waste from agricultural part, right, or bio waste, right, or from carbon dioxide conversions, right, or even from petrochemical based conversion, right, converting some non-degradable plastic, right, into graphene or high value products in the form of graphene, for example, diamond dye, carbon nanofiber, carbon nitrile, and pentagraphene materials. These are some example of materials that we have worked with at this moment. The promising application should go into composite materials, right? High performance materials, energy storage, battery, sensor, electronic devices, right? Photovoltaic applications, right? Desalination or filtration of water, water treatment, and also 3D printing application, right? Both 3D and also 4D in the future. For the functional degradable polymers, right, the resource should also come from agricultural and bio-based resources, right? And also from carbon dioxide capture. The most important technology and also promising at this moment is also converting non-degradable polymer, right? Non-degradable plastic into the resource for degradable polymer, right? Making them into high performance composite, advanced functional materials, right? Develop advanced processing technique for them, right? Using technology like nano encapsulation, right, for making them into functional materials, right? Making medical grade functional materials, right, that can be used for biomedical applications, right? So these are some example of the potential applications. So we can see that there are plenty of resources, right, of the carbon-based materials, right? So this can come from traditional fossil-based like natural gas, crude oils, coal, right, or in the form of graphite or diamond, right? So we can convert this directly into carbon-based materials, right, in the form of carbon nanotube, carbon materials, diamond dye structure, right? That is for various applications, right? Also, we can convert this into a monomer, right, for making bio-based polymer that are degradable. Right. At the same time, we can convert, right, non-degradable fossil-based polymer into the degradable polymer. Right. And at the end, so this can be the material that are friendly to the environment. So I will also give the overview picture that focus on plastic waste and also the plastic or polymer that are more friendly to the environment. Right? These are the issue of plastic waste. The number of plastic waste that has been generated, right, in the data here is 2015. We can see that the amount of plastic waste rapidly increased because of the high demand and high consumption of this type of materials. Right? They offer a wide variety of properties. They can be used in various applications. Right? But at the end, because of their high durability, so this causes a lot of problem to the environment. Right? And the major problem is the contamination in the ocean. Right? And if we look at this value, we can also see the amount of polluting plastic waste in the ocean may come from the number of the populations and also the area that are connected to the ocean, right? So China is number one, right? Thailand is somewhere here, right? Indonesia is number two from this picture, right? So this can be a problematic issue, right, that getting more and more serious. If we look at the overall picture in Thailand, right, the plastic waste that are generated, this is in 2018, I believe, is about 2 million tons per year. And only about 25% of them, right, has been handled correctly. Right? The other 75%, right, is thrown away and leak into the environment, and this is very problematic. And also there are detailed, right, number of what type of plastic have been used or caused into the problem, and also how much of the plastic has been collected back and go to recycle, or we call CFR. Only about 0.6 million tons out of 3.5 million tons has been practiced in Thailand here. Right? So we can see here 2.9% or 3 million tons is consumed, right, for 1 year. Right? Only around 18%, right, is recycled. So this can be very, very big issue, right? So therefore, policy or regulation, right, to solve this problem is very important. So now, to solve this problem, right, the development of another type of polymer, right, that we call degradable polymer, right, it can be promising solutions. And also, if the materials, right, come from bio-based resources, right, that also can help, right, and fit in very well with the concept of BCG model. Right? So there are, right, if we classify plastic product or polymer products that are available at this moment, so we classify them into 4 groups according to their ability to be degraded, and also the amount of the nature of their raw materials, or we call bio-based. Right? The polymer that are in the group here that have high biodegradability and also can be completely derived from bio-based resources are the promising solution. But what we deal with the polymer that come from fossil base, that cannot be recycled. This is the major problem to what we talk about. So if we can reuse them, or we apply recycling to this material, so we can now help solving this problem. There are many ways to deal with recycling of the polymer. The traditional one is considered mechanical recycling, just remelt them and make them into new product. However, the problem here is property deterioration. The property or the value of the recycling product is not comparable to new material. So this is not promising. However, if we can convert them by the process that is called chemical recycling, we can break the polymer chain, which is long chain molecule, into smaller size products. So these are promising because we can use them as high value products. So the technology that are quite established already is applying the process like pyrolysis or gasification or cracking, to convert this into small molecule products. However, this product is still used for fuel, or to burn them to get energy, or to other chemical product that is not quite high value. So in order to complete this loop, some advanced chemical recycling process have been developed in order to complete all of this loop. And the most promising one is chemical recycling of traditional petroleum-based polymer here into raw material that can be converted directly into polymer that can be degradable. So if we can do this, so every new polymer that either come from petroleum-based or come from bio-based resources, are converted directly into polymer that are degradable. So they will not cause any problem into the environment. At the same time, the technology for converting fossil or petroleum-based non-degradable polymer, into the polymer that is degradable. So when we combine this together at the end, all the material that we use are degradable and also can be used in various applications, starting covering engineering or high performance materials for many applications, automotive applications, high performance application, until bio or biomedical applications, And also, in the future, the most challenging technology is converting CO2 in the environment directly into degradable polymers, So by doing this, we can complete all of the loop of converting or effectively utilizing our resources, that are friendly to the environment, So this may be the information that I would like to share with everyone for today. And also to achieve this goal, the collaboration among a network of researchers, not only nationwide, worldwide, is very important. And we are very glad that we have a very close connection or close collaboration with the researcher network in Indonesia, and especially MIS Indonesia and also MIS Thailand. And we hope to strengthen our collaboration in the future. With that, I thank everyone for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prakan, Mr. Prakan. So, see, we met in Bali because you mentioned the picture, so I remember you now.
Right.
Okay, we have dinner party in the beach, right?
Yes.
Okay,
We
thank
have
you
a
so
good
much.
time.
Very interesting. Not only
Thank you.
collaboration between Material Research Society Indonesia and Thailand, because I just have 2 weeks ago we have IRCP, Asian Regional Collaborations Projects, which is as Indonesia and Thailand and some Asian country, of course. We are discussing regarding the circular economy concept. So it is very interesting what you mentioned that Thailand has launched the model, the concept to apply the circular economy. Probably I want to give some information for who all the participants who still probably why circular economy concept always talking about the reuse, reduce, because in circular approach we have 5 R's to be applied: reduce, reuse, recycles, refurbish, and renew. So these 5 R's become the models who countries who apply the circular economy. So Thailand has launched this, and later Indonesia also will launch, I believe. Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much, Mr. Prakan. So we have another speakers, and the
Thank
last
you.
speakers.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Pakon. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Please stay tuned because we still taking photo session, but after this, after all the speakers finish. Okay, thank you. So I will invite for the next speakers. This is the last speaker, Professor Dr. Monsam Zaki Mubarak. He is from ITB. Yeah, he is from ITB, head of the hydroelectrometallurgy laboratory. Doctoral degree from nanovirus metallurgy. So this is metallurgist. And I believe also he was involved during the pandemic in 2020, he received the High Impact Research Article Award from BRIN. So congratulations, even in pandemic time, you still have the high productivity. So I give you the floor for you.
Thank you, Ibu Masayu Elita Hafizah. Thank you, Professor Effie, for the opportunity given to me to share my experience, my research results, our research results in our group. Actually, it's quite sudden, and I got 4 hours lecture today, but I will try to give my best for my presentation today. Let me share screen. So I would like to share our knowledge, our investigation results on purifications of mixed hydroxide precipitate to nickel sulfate and copper sulfate for raw material of lithium-ion battery cathode materials. So it is quite hot topics. I think everybody from you perhaps aware that at the moment the issue of battery for EV, the change of fossil fuel-based vehicle to electric vehicle will be soon take place, in the world as well as in Indonesia. And one of the most important part of EV development is the battery. So this is the title of my talk today. And I would like to deliver the presentations based on the following outline, starting with the introductions and a review of the process from nickel laterite ore to the product of processing plant. So I talk more in upstream part to provide the material for battery, and the third part will be the purification of mixed hydroxide precipitate to nickel sulfate, I close my talk with recent and next studies at our research group, which involve the PhD student as well as undergraduate and master students. So I would like to start my presentation with this fact that the growth of electric vehicle sales will be quite fast, and about 50% of EV contribution to all vehicle sales on 2040, yeah, according to the prediction of Bloomberg Energy Finance, and about 50% for all this electric vehicle is BEV, EV based on the battery. So battery is key component of electric vehicle now, and contribute to about 35% based on, or according to, depend on the type of the vehicle, but some said that it is until 40, so 35 to 40%. And major contributor of cost of battery manufacturing is material cost, yeah, about 50 to 55 to 60%, yeah, and mostly it is the cost of cathode material, which consists of lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese. And in this slide, the growth demand of raw materials utilized for fabrication of lithium-ion battery for EV is shown. You can see here that all materials requires the demand increase. Yeah, this include also copper and aluminum that are used for current collector. Yeah, current collector in anode and cathode, as well as nickel here. Also, the blue one is graphite for anode, lithium, manganese, and cobalt. And except for lithium and graphite, whose availability has not been confirmed, Indonesia has raw materials for nickel, cobalt, manganese, aluminum, and copper. For nickel, specifically, we are the first place, yeah, of the country who has the biggest reserve and production level, as well as resources. The cathode material give the highest contributions, as I have mentioned before, and with the demand for cheaper battery price, the proportion of cobalt used in cathode is further reduced by increasing the proportion of nickel. So the trend is to utilize the cathode material with higher proportion of nickel, such as nickel, manganese, cobalt with 8:1:1. Yeah. The mole proportion, the mass ratio, nickel 8, cobalt 1, manganese 1. Indonesia eventually can play a strategic role in this regard in electric vehicle industry, with the availability of raw material, especially nickel and cobalt, and the availability of EV markets within the country. We are the 4th most populated country in the world, and with good vehicle markets, yeah, which is growing from year to year. And why selecting nickel-based EV battery? The first reasons, nickel-based EV battery offers higher energy density. You can see here, and MC and NCA, and two nickel-based battery types, yeah, provide or offer specific energy or energy density which is higher than, for instance, lithium ferrophosphate battery type, yeah, for EV. It has also good safety, good durability, and relatively lower price in comparison to LCO. Yeah, LCO is lithium cobalt oxide, yeah, without nickel. And the trend, in order to reduce the price and the proportions of nickel in cathode material, is increased, yeah, by lowering the proportion of cobalt. And this is one of the methods which is possibly utilized for synthesis of cathode precursor material by using co-precipitation method. So the raw material are nickel sulfate, 6H2O, cobalt sulfate, 7H2O, manganese sulfate, and lithium carbonate. At the beginning, the sulfate material is mixed in continuous stir tank reactors and converted to carbonate. So the carbonate is separated, and then after size reductions and drying, it is mixed again with lithium carbonate, and being sintered in a sintering kiln to produce the oxide precursor material. So the reactions of carbonate formations in continuous stir tank reaction is reactor is as follow, and this is for reaction in sintering kiln. And if I go to the upstream part, in order to produce nickel sulfate and cobalt sulfate utilized for precursors cathode material, the process in general is as follow, from mining, mineral extraction process, high pressure acid leaching, atmospheric pressure leaching, or even from ferronickel converted to nickel matte and leaching of matte, and this process producing intermediate products commonly in upstream part, in industries of this sector, producing mixed sulfide precipitate or mixed hydroxide precipitate. This is an example of mixed hydroxide precipitate, and this intermediate product is further refined to produce nickel sulfate and cobalt sulfate, which is utilized further for synthesizing the cathode precursor material. Okay. Let me continue. At the moment, the process for producing the material for battery industry is still until MHP. There is only one the processing plant which is commercially in productions, in eastern part of Indonesia, using high pressure acid leaching, producing MHP. It is our homework, our agenda to further refine, further develop this industry until the downstream part of this business, to sulfate, to cathode precursor, to batteries, and even to electric vehicle industries. And this is only few for you material requirement for RMC battery. You can see here we can calculate, for example, the battery use for Tesla S electric vehicle, requires 7,616 piece of cell, and we can calculate the material requirement in kilograms for one EV. We can calculate for one cell, for one EV, and the proportion is like this. Cathode material 26%, sparator, aluminum foil, electrolyte, in terms of mass contributions. Okay, and if we calculate the demand of the raw material, then we can know that the number of nickel, for example, for target production of 1 million electric vehicles in Indonesia by the year 2045, it will need about 41,000 tons of nickel per year, if we calculate from the stoichiometry, and it can be provided, can be prepared from nickel laterite or to MHP, or even from our existing nickel pig iron or nickel matte plant. And if I calculate also from the criteria that it requires, the battery requires 750 ton nickel per gigawatt hour, then nickel requirement at 60 gigawatt hour, this is projection 2045, the number is not much different, yeah, with the number which is calculated from stoichiometric requirement of nickel, cobalt, and manganese. Yeah, it requires 45,000. And the requirement of cobalt and lithium are about 5,000 and 6,000 respectively. Yeah. So in terms of the plan of our extractive industries, actually the requirement for domestic demand is quite low, yeah, in comparison to the plan for productions of MHP in our country. Yeah, actually only in industrial park of Morowali, they plan to produce about 120 tons nickel, yeah, per year. Yeah, so the requirement in 2045, yeah, is only about 40 thousand of nickel. So in this regard, we have to develop the downstream industry for this. Okay, I think if we take a look on the material supply chains for NMC battery, the nickel sulfate and cobalt sulfate can be provided from extraction of nickel laterite ore, yeah, also from the existing nickel matte plant, yeah, nickel matte plant, and also we need manganese sulfate, graphite, and also lithium and lithium carbonate, lithium hydroxide is mixed, as I have mentioned before, yeah, with nickel sulfate, cobalt sulfate, manganese sulfate to produce then precursor cathode material and to establish the cell battery and for electric vehicle. Yeah. And lithium is also the challenge, yeah. At the moment, the resource and reserve of lithium within the country is not yet confirmed. A lot of research just about started, yeah, to extract lithium from several resources, such as from geothermal mud, geothermal fluid, yeah, such as also what I have done, yeah, at our laboratory. And the resource and the raw material for lithium, nickel, cobalt, manganese can be also from recycling. Yeah, after the battery is getting finished, yeah, then the spent battery can be treated in recycling plant to produce nickel, cobalt, lithium. Yeah, we have also already to prepare these things. As I know, there is already a plan, yeah, to construct a factory for this recycling plant. So I come to the second part of my presentations, a review from ore to processing plant product. Yeah. So basically, nickel ore consists of two main type, yeah, laterite ore, which is mostly oxide, yeah, the mineral, and sulfide ore. And in Indonesia, mostly we have laterite deposit, yeah, we don't have sulfide deposit. And the laterite ore is mined by using open pit mining, yeah, quite cheap and easy, yeah, and treated in processing plant to produce various products. Yeah, as you know, nickel has various kind of products. Yeah, started from nickel pig iron, we have a lot in Indonesia. Ferronickel, we have plant long time ago, yeah, owned by Antam, yeah, since end of 70, and MHP is just recently, yeah, produced nickel matte since long time, yeah. And nickel cathode, nickel briquette, nickel sulfate, yeah, and the left part classified as class 2 nickel, yeah, means nickel content in this product is the purity is low, yeah, like say nickel pig iron is only 15%, and the objective of producing nickel pig iron is basically for stainless steel, yeah, which contain mostly iron. And the right part is class 1 nickel, nickel cathode, 99.99%, yeah, nickel briquette, and nickel sulfate with 99% purity up, yeah, which is utilized for battery. And in general, the flow sheet from ore to MHP is as follows, yeah. Starting with slurry preparation, preheating, leaching, and then recycle leaching, solid liquid separation, iron removal in 2 stages, and MHP precipitation in 2 stages. And from the first stage, recover as the product. Yeah. And high pressure acid leaching has been a preferred technique, preferred methods, since it can give high nickel and cobalt recoveries, fast and good leaching selectivity to iron. Yeah, therefore it results in a lower acid consumptions. Yeah. As far as I know, the plan for several new processing plant for producing MHP in Indonesia utilize also this kind of technology. Yeah, HPA, although it requires quite high investment cost. And these are the pictures of worldwide processing plant producing intermediate product such as MHP and SP. Yeah, and here HPL Legends is from Indonesia. Just this year started commercial production with capacity 31,000 ton nickel in MHP. And they had already a plan for upgrading for treating further MHP to nickel sulfate and cobalt sulfate, but at the moment the product is still MHP. And from MHP to nickel sulfate, cobalt sulfate, in general, the process done according to the following flow sheet. Yeah, mixed hydroxide precipitate is released in sulfuric acid or in ammonium-based solutions. Yeah, and after that you do solvent extractions, multiple solvent extraction using certain organic reagents such as cyanide, fersetics, and others. Yeah, basically the solvent extraction is to separate the impurities from nickel and cobalt, and to separate nickel from cobalt. Yeah, and after crystallization, then you get nickel sulfate and cobalt sulfate with water hydrate there. And in addition to this route, there is also another route using saprolite ore, yeah, basically, or using existing facility, or converting the second class of the product due to higher demands, increasing demand for battery. Then ferronickel or even nickel matte, yeah, is converted to matte, yeah, nickel sulfide, yeah, by injecting sulfur air here in Pearce-Smith converter, and this matte is dissolved in pressure oxidation leaching in autoclave, and followed by solvent extraction, crystallization, similar to the route started from the ore, yeah, or from MHP. And the advantage of this route is that smaller amount of slurry waste from hydromet plant, because most of impurities have been separated as slag during Fanny smelting. Yeah, so one of the challenges of hydromet plant from ore is how to place the tail slurry, yeah, the slurry of tailings. Okay, we will deal with this process after, yeah, and in more detail. I would like to present some of the results of our investigations. Yeah, our investigation on MHP, purification of MHP to nickel sulfate, started with the analysis of the chemical compositions. It contains 45% of nickel, 2% cobalt, 3% manganese, magnesium, and some other impurities actually also there, such as calcium, and perhaps also aluminum and chromium. And the XRD diffraction result is as follows. And the phase present in MHP is nickel hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. And factors affecting MHP grade and purity is quite important, because the purity of MHP will determine also the purity of the final product of nickel sulfate. Is the performance of the upstream aluminum and iron removal, such as already shown in the flow sheet, that prior to MHP precipitations, the process is iron and aluminum removal in 2 stages. The type of neutralizing agent used for MHP precipitations, if you use magnesium oxide, then you will have also several addition of magnesium in MHP. If you use sodium hydroxide, then the sodium tend also to contain in MHP, precipitate. So additional calcium from neutralizing agent added in aluminum and iron removal can be also present there. pH level for maximum nickel precipitation while minimizing co-precipitation of magnesium and manganese. So basically, magnesium and manganese are precipitated at quite high pH. But if you precipitate nickel in pH above 7, some of magnesium and manganese are also co-precipitated. The addition of seed and temperatures, and I would like to share several our investigation results. And before come to that results, I would like to present this quite famous Monheimius diagram. So basically, to purify or to precipitate MHP, you can take a look on the profile of log activity of cations, as the y-axis, axis, and pH as the x-axis. So basically, on the right side of this equilibrium line, then the metals, the cations, will be precipitated to H hydroxide here, according to these reactions. If you increase pH, mean you reduce the H plus ion, then the equilibrium will shift it to right side. So for iron, in iron 3 plus, it will be precipitated at quite lower pH than nickel and cobalt, no problem. But you have quite close precipitation pH between cobalt and manganese, nickel, cobalt, and manganese, as well as with magnesium. So basically, for iron, you require oxidations from iron 2 plus to iron 3 plus, because iron 2 plus it has precipitation pH which is quite close to nickel and cobalt. Okay. And some of our investigations, several parameters affect the precipitation of MHP, like the type of neutralizing agents. Basically, MgO give the fastest precipitation rate, followed by sodium hydroxide and ammonia. Here is in AOH, and why? Because solid MgO in slurry provide seeding effect to precipitations of nickel hydroxide. Okay, and
2 minutes
the
left,
other,
Pak Prof.
2 minutes. Okay, and the other parameter is temperatures. It's clear that at higher temperature, the precipitation reaction take place faster, and also the addition of seeding. So the lower part is without seeding, the upper part with seeding is faster, the precipitations. And I come now to the process of purification of MHP, to nickel sulfate. So we release MHP at room temperatures, with this parameter, and this is the concentrations of metals in solution obtained by MHP release. And we do this quite conventional route, 2-stage solvent extractions, and this one, and the solution is subjected to first step solvent extractions to separate nickel and cobalt from iron, manganese, chromium, magnesium, and calcium. And then at the second step, we use another extractant, to separate the nickel and cobalt, and we do crystallizations, and to get the product of nickel sulfate, battery grade, you have to know what are the composition. So basically, the total impurities must be less than, say, 200 ppm something, and the purity must be higher than 99%. This is for cobalt, and this is the picture of our research activities in Bandung, started from leaching, iron precipitation, MHP precipitation, and then re-leaching, solvent extractions, until the crystallization of nickel sulfate. This is the photograph of the nickel sulfate, and some results here. So basically, to separate nickel and cobalt from calcium, magnesium is not a problem, can be seen here. And the lower part is the extracted thing. Here the magnesium, calcium, and separation of nickel and cobalt is not a problem. Basically we extract cobalt here in organic phase, nickel in aqueous phase, and this is the separation factors. Also the effect of organic to aqueous ratio, so no problem, we can separate. What we face, the problem we face is the contamination of sodium, which is originally from adjusting pH agents, during the first stage and second stage assay. And two alternative of solution we have now tried by using nickel-loaded cyanide. So although we add sodium hydroxide, then it will not extracted in organic, because the organic already contain nickel. So basically we can separate nickel, iron, cobalt, and sodium, and produce quite pure product. And the last part is recent and next studies at our research group. We use alternative route, what's so-called selective oxidative precipitation, by using ozone gas. Basically, in the ozone, oxidize cobalt and manganese, dissolve cobalt and manganese to their trivalent and tetravalent state, and precipitate it in the form of COOH and MnO2. You can see here quite good the separations, and the ratio of nickel against manganese and cobalt is also quite good, even higher than the solution, the one produced by solvent extraction. And the recent progress we use micro to nano bubble ozone. Why micro to nano? Because it has better solubility, better reaction kinetic, and you can see here the precipitation of nickel and cobalt is only in half hour, 100% get quite pure solution of nickel. So this method simplify the stage of the process, the processing route to produce nickel sulfate. But the problem is how to spread nickel from sodium and manganese, for sodium and magnesium, sorry, because sodium and magnesium cannot be precipitated by selective oxidative precipitations. Therefore, we thought that we have to combine the selective oxidative precipitation and reduce with solvent extraction for reducing the step of acid, and also separation of nickel and cobalt from nickel and cobalt precipitate. Mixture of CO manganese sulfate or nickel cobalt sulfate for precursor material. Is it accepted by the market? If it is accepted, then we can simplify, not must not to produce nickel sulfate, 99% cobalt sulfate, but if we can produce the mixture of them, then the processing route is getting simpler. That was all for my presentation this afternoon. Thank you for the time and the opportunity.
Thank you, Professor Zaki. So very interesting today. So we have 4 very great speakers. Then let's give applause for all the speakers. You can use the reactions and just get the applause. Thank you so much, Prof. Zaki. I have noticed your presentation very interesting because I work also by the extraction minerals. The conventional method using precipitation, it is quite difficult because it is hard to get higher purity of the minerals. But through the higher pressure acid leaching, you introduce that method, and this has come to the idea. This is the good. I think it is to become one alternative to isolate, to extract the mineral from the mixers. And you also mentioned the purity process. The several purity process, yeah, to get the MHP become nickel sulfate, cobalt sulfate, and it is yes, against the highest issue how we can extract the minerals. It is the purification. So I believe all the discussion will related with how we can, in this world, we can extract a lot the mineral from the mixer with the higher purity. So again, thank you so much for your valuable presentation. And before we come to the question and answer and discussion, I will invite to all of the participants to open on your video. Then we can take the picture first. After that, we can discuss a lot, explore again from the speakers. So everybody, please turn on your video, and please the operator to take the pictures and give the best smile for today, because we learned very valuable material. Quite interesting, but again, the time is very limited, so unfortunately we cannot explore more advanced. I believe in WFI will create another event for next sessions. Okay, yes. So everybody, Faiz from Brin, another's name. Okay.
All right, thank you so much to all participants and all speakers. So before we do the discussions, please to all of the speakers and also participants to turn on the video, because we're going to take pictures. We have 2 slides here, and we will start from the first slide. In 3, 2, 1. Next slide. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much. I'll give back the floor.
Can we take the freestyle? Freestyle, because I see Pak Made doing this, so I think it is good for Indonesia. So we have to make it this time for us to Indonesia towards circular economy. Okay, Pak.
All right. So thumbs up all.
So freestyle for all of us.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Alan.
Thank you.
Next slide. In 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you so much. I'll give the floor back to you.
Okay, now we can come to the question and answer sessions. So I will have you about, okay, so discussion session now is ready. I will have prepare the questions in the slide, and please present. Okay, the first question from Mr. Saipur Rahman to Prof. Zaki. Just wondering, is there any particular reason of using sulfate salts, not other types of salts? Why, Pak? Any reason for this? Don't say that it is very more expensive. Okay.
Directly?
Pak,
Directly
yes, Pak, please.
Okay. Yeah. In comparison to nitrate, to chloride, sulfate is more easier to be handled. Yeah. More easier to handle and less corrosive. Also, not so volatile like chloride, like nitrate, and chloride. And also it's related also with the upstream process, so mostly the process use sulfuric acids as the leaching agent. This is what. And of course, for the technical reasons how to mix the sulfates is is easier. Yeah, I mean to make sulfate, to convert it to carbonate, and then from carbonate is mixed with lithium carbonate, etc. It is my answer.
Thank you for the explanation.
Thank you.
Okay, actually we can make it more advanced discussion for this. Why sulfate, not nitrate, not chloride? But of course, it is not part of Mr. Zaki only. We have another speakers. Okay, another questions actually what come to my private mobiles for Bapak Made. Pak Made, according to your experience, how optimistic we are in Indonesia not to fulfill the demand of local, and also we are able to export according to your experience, Pak?
Okay, thank you. Very good question. Yeah. Based on my experience so far, that's the market in Indonesia still have a big opportunity. While we understand if compared with the ASEAN, other ASEAN countries, our car ownership per 1,000 people population is still around 99. And if compared with the Thailand, already 240. And with it, if compared with the Malaysia, already 440. There's a very big gap. And Indonesian have 272 million population, and Thailand almost 70 more maybe also population, and Malaysia 25 million population. So and in that sense, we are needed to anticipate and also to prepare what kind of the more realistic market in Indonesia. So in my experience, since around 2001 or 2002, in this recent year, the market still around 300,000 or 400,000, but coming to 2010 or 2012, that is already more than 1 million. So only 5 or 7 years, yeah, growing up. And also the market of the for the 2020, of course, 2019 still 1 million, yeah. The peak of the market in Indonesia is 1.3 million around 2013, 2014. So in that condition, we understand also for the export market also growing, yeah, growing from only 20,000 unit per year, recently become 300,000 unit per year. If compared with the Thailand, yeah. Particularly because I also stay in Thailand almost 1.5 years. There become one of the director in the Toyota Asia Pacific, the regional headquarters in Thailand, in Bangkok. So if compared with the Thailand, Thailand is having a very how to say the market of the domestic is lower than us, yeah, lower in Indonesia. Around 800,000 or 900,000, but the export is very big. The export is around 1.3 million, the export. So we should learn from the Thailand, and we should learn from the principle, because actually the business of the automotive still control it, still manage or influenced by the principle, the global principle. Such kind of the Toyota still become the winner, number one in the world, yeah. With the last volume is around 10 million car vehicle, and followed by other like a Volkswagen and other car maker also growing up from the USA and from European. So in that kind of condition, how to participate, how to maintain this such kind of the spirit to achieve in 2025 2 million market of Indonesia, and also 1 million market for the export from Indonesia, and also in 2030 how to keep 3 million market in Indonesia and 1 or 1.5 million market for export. That is, we need to adapt it, like mentioned by Professor Jackie, and also Professor Evi. This is very potential, very huge of the potentiality in Indonesia. Yeah, so I'm still optimistic for this kind of the condition. But the point is how to elaborate, how to make a more detailed anticipation related with the principle, the global principle and the local principle, and with the government and the business owner. So yeah, through this discussion, this is very basic, yeah, for us as incorporating with the from the upstream to downstream and to the commercial, from the research, innovation, and commercialization. This should be making one flow, one realistic flow, and managing by all parties, and make a collaboration and synergize with all of the participants from Indonesian and global players. So I believe today this is a good discussion, Professor Evi from Thailand, from UK. So how to make it happen, and also particularly from Jackie also. Yeah, I think this is very useful, for us as an Indonesian nation to make later the roadmap and the milestone target, and how to commercialize the material and the process in Indonesia. Yeah, I think that's. Thank you.
Yes, agree, Bapak, because as we know that our government has determined the 5 sectors in Indonesia have large potential to adopt the circular economy. We can say the food and beverage, textiles, constructions, retail, and part of the electrical and electronical. The 5 sectors practice in these sectors are inefficient and generate large amounts of waste. So that's why our government determined the 5 sectors to be adopt the circular economy implementation. So it is in line with your explanation. Thank you so much. We have another overview again today regarding the circular economy implementation, and now I'm more optimistic again. So we are able toward implementation of circular economy. Thank you, Bapak. Thank you so much. Another question for Dr. Prakan. Are you still here? Yes or no? Okay.
Unfortunately, he's not here.
Okay. So probably the last question for Ibu Evi, as the founder of NBRI. Just want to know your overview, your perspective regarding what is the role of NBRI toward implementation of the circular economy for Indonesia?
Thank you. This is well, good question. Good question. So in terms of for NBRI first for skill development, it is important. Yes, I think even we have the factory and from international to invest in Indonesia, but we have to prepare for the human resources. So this is one strategy. So NBRI want to help in this, to contribute, yes, and of course working together with the other like Institute Automotive Indonesia and other with university, with BRIN, yeah. But second, we need to be focused, yes, as mentioned by Mr. Dana, Mr. Made, and as we said also from the presentation of Mr. Prakan, how the Thailand can reach, why they small country, but the export is increased. But if I see that they make a really specific focus, okay. So put them one by one and then see and what next. And yeah, I think why we make the NBRI, because we need to be focused. We cannot do everything. But actually, if we talk about battery, you see, Prof. Zaki talk about the upstream, downstream, and then Mr. Made talk about the business. So everything together is about battery. Yes. So have to be focused. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, we cannot go anywhere. Yeah. And the second, the third is we need to understand, to know, to learn about the processing technology. However, Indonesia reached with the potential with the local resources, as Pamade mentioned before that, but how to utilize the potential itself. Okay. Yeah, it's already started with Professor Zaki. Yeah, Professor Zaki tried to find out how the MHP to become the sulfate. I believe Prof. Zaki didn't find it from international company, but we have to try to find out. Okay. The second, we also trying to understand in NBRI and also with BRIN, with the national research priority, we try to understand to make it to become the cathode. So no, it's already one circular, yeah, from the raw material to become the cathode, and then now we're trying to make also the battery, and later on to become the product and can be applied. And finally, also one of the line that I should actually invite, there is the project on recycle of the battery. It should be one, okay? Yeah. Otherwise, in the future, there will be a ton of used battery that is dangerous also for the environment. So the circular economy, in the sense that we have to think about that. Of course, the NBRI also will contribute on that. Okay. Yeah. We will gather. Yeah. The NBRI will not do the whole activity. We are unable, but we try to gather. Yeah. The researcher or the industry and also all the stakeholder, and to discuss and to make it happen. Okay. Yeah. We need some platform. So that is the NBRI form. And the second, NBRI also have the international networking. Yeah. We are from the Material Society. Yeah. We can invite from all over the world. Yeah, I'm sure that we will invite also for the conference. So we need to understand also what's going on in the other world. Okay, so we can we invite them, yeah, and then we share with them. They can share with us, so know what's going on, and so we can not we can follow, but so we can catch up, yeah, what's going on with the world. So that is the NBRI. So therefore, yeah, for this one year, already so much going on, and yeah, with a lot of country and then industry. Well, I should be proud. Maybe talk to Professor Alan. Tomorrow we will meet the Surveyor Indonesia, when we will sign an MOU with Surveyor Indonesia, with the board of director, and also with some other. Because they need the company, sometimes they don't want, they have a lot of thing to discuss, but yeah, they need the place just to discuss. Of course, afterward we will invite the expert. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what from us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So congratulations for another new contract. And so the keyword today is collaboration. It's correct. Collaboration between industry, institution, research body, and all of us doing the same issue without any conflict of interest for a professional.
Right.
So I prefer to finalize this session with one word, and I will not translate this because I prefer using the original word from our presidents in Indonesia 2045. Menuju SDM unggul Indonesia maju. Thank you so much for your great presentation. Thank you for the valuable time, and I will give back to the MC. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Ayu.
All right, thank you so much for Dr. Mas Ayu. And we are now almost finished our webinar for today. But before that, allow me to say thank you to all of the speakers who gave a very powerful insight to all of us. We also want to say thank you to the moderator who led this webinar from the beginning. Now, as we said before, that we almost reached the end of the event. But before that, please allow me to invite the founder of the NBRI, Professor Dr. Renat Evi Kartini, to give an appreciation remarks to our distinguished experts for today.
Maybe
Prof.
Prof. Alan. Is it better, Prof. Alan? Yeah, Prof. Alan is here. Alan? Okay.
Sorry, I have
Alan?
another meeting on at the moment. I have two meetings in parallel. So
okay. Can you give the appreciation to the speakers?
Okay, very quickly.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So thank you very much for your really good talks. I really enjoyed them. It's been a pleasure. It's a shame that it's online and not in person, but that's the way we are these days. And I hope that you'll be able to engage more over the coming weeks in the anniversary celebrations of the NBRI. So thank you very much.
Okay. Alan, continue, please. Prof. Alan. Okay. Yeah, give for the certificate. Sinta, can you show the certificate? Okay. Well, I should not give for myself. From you is okay.
Okay, so the first certificate goes to Mas Ayu Elita Havisa. I'm going to really struggle, I think, with some of these names, and I very much apologize. Bahasa or Indonesian is not my preferred tongue. I should really learn more Indonesian. Maybe I should employ somebody to teach me. But anyway, so it's that's the first certificate of appreciation for them being a moderator. Okay, so thank you. And then obviously Professor Evi Kartini as keynote speaker and founder of the NBRI.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I don't even know what IR stands for actually, but IR, Made Dana M Tangkas for being a keynote speaker, and I apologize profusely about the pronunciation of your name because this is not my area of expertise. Dr. Prakan Opaprakisat, I think I have that right, also as a keynote speaker. Professor Montir M. Zaki Mubarak, also as a keynote speaker. And that was the last one. Okay, back to Professor Evi, because I have to go back to my other meeting now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Alan, for giving the certificate of all the speakers. Once again, thank to all the participants and speakers, and for all this afternoon. I think really great. Yes. Yeah, really great talk. I did really enjoy. This is the first time I did really learn from Prof. Zaki. Yeah, and Prof. Made, Pak Made also, yes, in different language. I think, yeah, and then also from Professor Prakan from Material Society Thailand, and thank you also for Mrs. Dr. Mas Ayu Elita, yes, this Secretary General of Material Society Indonesia. Yes, pleasure. And then also to all the team, NBRI team, MRS INA team, Sinta, and all. I cannot say one by one, but all the team for this good webinar. I think really, yeah, this is quite good. Yeah, and I hope that we can study again because it's recorded in YouTube. Yeah, and one thing that I can see, there is a line. There is what is the red? What is the connection? What talking from Prof. Zaki and then going to my talk and to Pamade, yes, and then with the circular economy. I think this is quite good. And then, but what we hope that not only finished until in the seminar, in webinar, as Pamade mentioned, as Prof. Zaki, and we should make it happen for Indonesia. Okay, please help Pak Made, yeah, because you are from the business part, and then to invite the investor, yeah, to make the knowledge, the technology from Indonesia, from our country. I think, yeah, this is one way. If we have the amount of local resources, if you cannot use it, if we cannot, we don't know the technology, how to use it, I think it's not good for us. Okay, so once again, that I'm very happy, pleased, and then we hope that we can still collaborate. And for the next event, we will have that several events that I show you. Yes, maybe we can with the IOI, we can collaborate on the battery school and EV. Pamade, yes, that is and also, of course, with the advanced material characterization, we will invite from all over the world, I think. And finally, we will have also the International Conference Advanced Material Technology between 14 to 16. Yeah, we gather not only from Indonesia, but from from all the International Union of Material Society, and so we know what's going on. And at last but not least, thank to all participants and all of you. Okay, see you for the next event. This is so you will be part of our conference. And don't forget, on the 17th of December will be the first anniversary. So we will invite probably also from the British Embassy or some UK, because this is kind of NBRI is not belong to me, belong to Indonesia. As you see that Prof. Alan Drew is behind also this. So the UK government also support for this for Indonesia. Yes, and then one more. We will have, I think there's still many programs that we can work together. Yeah, Pamade, I think we also propose the UKPAC. UKPAC, yes, there's what is yeah, accelerating on transition, energy transition, or the other program for Indonesia. I think Prof. Zaki and Ms. Ayu can join all the from Indonesia. I think we should use yeah, the source from wherever. Prof. Alan, of course, will help for that. Thank you again for all. See you in the next event.
Terima kasih,
ya.
Alright, thank you so much.
Made, mari Pak Made.
Terima kasih semua. Saya izin live.
Sampai ketemu
Terima
lagi.
kasih Pak Prof. Zaki, Pak Made. Sampai ketemu lagi.
Mari,
Thank you so
Bayu.
much for Prof.
terima kasih.
Evi for such an amazing closing. But
Saya
before
izin live
that,
ya, Bu.
please do not
Masih,
clap
masih,
first because we're gonna
masih.
take the documentation
Masih.
first.
Masih.
Ibu.
Ya. Ya.
Ya.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much for all of the participants. But as Prof. Evi mentioned before, that we will have such various events from 9 until the December later on. First, we will have Youth Idea competitions, continued by today, international webinars, and an international school on battery and electric vehicles, or ISPAF, and then millennial talks on 20th of November. 23rd, we're going to have international workshop on solar rooftop on residential and utility scales, and then continued on 27th of November by Millennial Talks Part 2. Next, please. And on the 1st and 2nd of December, we will have international workshop on materials and advanced characterizations, or IMEC 2021. And then this is the biggest event of the National Battery Research Institute, which is International Conference on Advanced Materials and Technology, ICHAM 2021. And then the continued by the NBRI first anniversary on 17th of December. So to all of the participants, we will be more than happy to have you on our next events. And to close this event, I would like to say some quotes, because today is Indonesia National Hero Days on 10th of November 2021. I would like to quote from our heroes, Bung Tomo, but I will say it in Bahasa Indonesia. This is exactly what NBRI do. Jangan memperbanyak lawan, tapi perbanyaklah kawan. So NBRI connecting every dots in Indonesia to create a better Indonesia for all of us. Thank you so much for everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Sinta. Thank you, Sinta. Great.